All right, today we're diving into an idea that is, well, it's pretty mind-bending. It's a concept from some incredibly ancient sources that might just flip the way you think about reality on its head.
So you know how we usually think of words, right? They're just labels. We see a chair, we say the word chair. It points to the thing. It describes it. But what if that's totally backwards? What if the words themselves, the very sounds, the information they represent, what if that's the stuff that's actually building everything we see, everything we touch, everything we experience? That's the wild idea we're going to unpack.
To really get this, we have to look at an ancient tradition that saw the alphabet not as something humans just made up, but as the literal cosmic blueprint for the entire universe.
This brings us to a key concept called Matrika. The best way to think about it is like a kind of genetic code for reality. You know, our own DNA uses just 4 chemical letters to build all of the incredible complexity of life. Well, this ancient view suggests that Matrika uses the letters of the Sanskrit alphabet to literally program everything in the physical universe. It's the ultimate bridge between pure, formless consciousness and solid matter.
So, to make this super clear, think of all of reality like a movie. You've got Shiva, or pure consciousness. That's the blank screen. It's just the passive background, allowing everything to happen. Then you have Shakti. That's the creative power, the raw energy. That's the movie itself, the light and color flashing on the screen. And Matrika? Well, Matrika is the script. It's the information, the code that tells the energy what movie to play.
Okay, so if the alphabet is the script, how does an idea, just a thought, actually become a physical thing? It turns out there's a very specific 4-step process for how creation unfolds.
This whole process, called Vaka, shows how an idea literally thickens into reality. It starts at para, which is just a pure, silent impulse, that initial spark or urge to create. Then it moves to pashyanti, where it becomes a mental picture, a vision, but still with no words. Next up is majjhima. This is where you start forming the actual silent words in your mind. And finally, vaikari, the spoken word. The physical sound vibrates the air and crystallizes that thought into the physical world. It's a full journey from pure potential to actual reality.
So, that's the theory of how reality gets built. But what about how our minds actually perceive it? How do we make sense of it all? That question leads us to a really fascinating paradox.
Let's try a little experiment right now. I'm going to say a word, one sound at a time. The first sound is C.
Okay, next sound is oo. But hang on a second. By the time you hear that oo, where did the C sound go? It's vanished. It's not there anymore.
And finally, cow. Well, now the O sound is gone. See? The individual sounds C, O, W are never actually present in your ear at the exact same time. They happen one after another.
And here's the puzzle. If the parts of the word are never there all at once, how in the world did your brain just get a single, complete picture of a cow? You didn't build it piece by piece. The image just popped into your head whole.
The answer from this ancient line of thought is a concept called spoda, which literally means a burst or an explosion of meaning. The theory says the sounds C-O-W don't build the meaning of a cow. Instead, they act like triggers that reveal a complete, whole concept of cow that was already present, fully formed in your consciousness. It's a top-down reveal, not a bottom-up construction project.
This is the perfect analogy. The sounds are just like the beam of that flashlight scanning a face in the dark. First a nose, then an eye, and then bam! Your mind just gets it. It sees the whole face at once. That aha moment of instant recognition, that's the sphoda. It's a flash of total understanding, not a slow assembly of pieces.
Now, if you're thinking this is all just some really cool abstract philosophy, you might want to buckle up, because this is the part where ancient linguistics and modern quantum field theory seem to reach across thousands of years and shake hands. Okay, just consider this parallel. In quantum mechanics, a particle exists as a wave of possibilities, until an active observation, well, it collapses that wave into one single definite state. Now look at the Matrika view. An internal word collapses infinite potential energy into a specific observable form. In both models, you have a collapse from potential to actual that is triggered by information or by observation.
And it goes even deeper. Quantum field theory tells us that particles aren't really little solid things at all, but are just excitations or ripples in an underlying quantum field. This is an almost perfect mirror of the ancient concept of sponda, which says any object is just a vibration, a ripple, in the one single underlying field of pure consciousness.
And here's what might be the most mind-bending connection of them all: non-locality. We know from quantum entanglement that two particles can be linked instantly, no matter how far apart they are. Their connection is non-local. It defies space. Well, Spoda theory is also non-local. The meaning of cow isn't built from the local sounds C, then O, then W. It exists as an indivisible whole that the sounds just point to.
I mean, when you put it all together, side by side, the parallels are just stunning. From the source of reality to the code that gives it structure, the trigger that makes it real, and the final result we observe, the two systems are describing a profoundly similar process.
So, what's the big takeaway here? What does all this mean for us right now? Well, we can actually distill this entire cosmic process down into a simple but really powerful personal equation.
First, you've got pure energy, or Shakti. This is the raw stuff of the universe. It's formless, it's malleable, and it has the potential to become absolutely anything. Just think of it as a big lump of dough.
Second, you have information, or Matrika. This is the code, the pattern, the thought, the word. This is the force that gives shape to that raw energy. It's the cookie cutter that's about to press into the dough.
And what happens when you press that cookie cutter into the dough? You get a specific shape. You get reality. Energy plus information equals your experience. The formless potential has now been shaped into a specific object, a specific event, a specific experience.
And this leaves us with one final powerful thought. If this model holds any truth, it means we are not just passive observers. Our thoughts, our internal words, our consciousness, that's the information. That's the cookie cutter shaping the raw energy of our lives. So the real question is, what kind of reality are you programming?